Hey everyone, it's Matt K. I'm back again with a special bonus edition of Q&A with Matt K. For those of you that are subscribers to the channel, you may have seen that I answered a question for Luke just yesterday, in fact. He had asked, let's go ahead and share the screen. He had asked if it was possible to use Apex to determine how much storage his Salesforce is using up, as well as the license count. And so if you watch that video, I will probably post it in the description down below. You can see that I was able to solve that. In fact, I went ahead and posted the solution right here in Trailhead. You can see the little code block that I wrote. Already Luke has watched it and was very thankful and asked if it was possible that I could help him save that data to this custom object that he's created called the org usage stat. You can see here he's created a nice custom object, and it has used data space, used file space, licenses used. He's already got it working for the dates and API requests and stuff like that. And so he's confirmed that my code works, but he just needs a little help getting it to work with his particular object. And was curious if I could help. And I was like, well, this is what I do. And since so many of you are liking and subscribing these videos, hopefully, I figured, okay, if we can get enough people to like these videos and subscribe, I'll go above and beyond and help Luke with his very specific use case to populate this custom object. So please like and subscribe. If you have any questions and you want to go directly to me, you don't have to post it onto the Trailhead site. You're always welcome to. I just don't know if I'll find it. But you can post it directly to us at quick2.click/Q&A. Okay, and with that, let's see if I can jump back into my org and maybe modify my code to work with an object similar to Luke's. So the first thing I'm going to have to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my code. We called it org details, I think it was. There we go, org details. Let's open that Apex class up. I'm going to go ahead and open up Salesforce setup, and I'm going to try to quickly create an object similar to Luke's. It may not be exactly the same, but we have here org usage stats is the name of the object. So I should be able to create one. A couple ways to create objects, obviously. Standard disclaimer applies. Normally, we would do this in a sandbox and then deploy it and that type of stuff. In fact, one thing I'm a little concerned about for Luke is that even if I write this code to commit the data to his specific custom object, he's going to have to deploy that code. And we haven't talked about test coverage. So this may end up being a series. We'll see. Let's call this org usage stat and then org usage stats plural. Take that away there. So I think this looks about right. That's a text field. That's a date. Month. Well, that's interesting. Look at that. Month. Why is that 1/11/2024? I don't know. Okay, not my problem. Let's turn reports on and hit save. I'm going to create a couple fields. We'll create one field for used data space, one field for used file space. Now, I don't know if Luke wants those fields to be text fields or to be number fields. I'm going to just make them text for now. And then maybe we'll get Luke to join a video and we can find out for real what's going on. Use data space, 255. Oh, I'll get there eventually. And then use file space. Will be the next one. Save a new. All right, so used file space, 255 again. Almost there. Come on. Okay, let's just make sure that I got Luke's question perfectly. API data written to the object and from the Apex class ChatGPT. Okay, so it's using ChatGPT. ChatGPT probably is somewhat helpful. We have a licenses used and API request. Let's go ahead and do licenses used as well. This will be, let's just do a number field for this one. Okay. Okay, so now we have the different fields on this object. I'm just going to go ahead and start copying some stuff. So the name of this object is org usage stat. I wonder if it's supposed to be plural. No, it's singular. Look at that up there. Perfect. Okay. And now we'll come to our code. And so what we're going to be doing, I'm going to change this to return an org usage stat record. And so I won't need this results anymore. We're going to create this, and we're going to say this is the new stat. So I'm just kind of constructing an empty instance of this record. Now here, instead of putting the whole licenses in there, what I really want to do is actually determine the number of used licenses. So there's a couple ways I could do this. I could loop through these licenses. That would be easy. I could also do what's called an aggregate query, which allows you to do math in Apex. And so I could do aggregate results. Now, I don't expect people to know this off the top of their head. I've been doing this for like way too long. And so that is why I have some of this memorized. But I would hope that most people don't fill their head with this information because it really is not that useful. And let's see, I'm going to group by. Ooh, what do I want to group by? Do I need a group by? I don't know if I need to actually. Yeah, it's not worth memorizing all this stuff. So this is going to be total, and this is going to be used. And then I can do this here for aggregate results, AR in license aggregate. New stat dot, and I think we called it licenses used, right? Equals, okay, and then so for this aggregate, we use this unusual notation to basically, instead of using a field notation, we use a get, and it'll get this variable here, an alias that we've assigned to doing the math sum of used licenses. I think that'll work. Let's get rid of that. What is going on here? I need it to be a decimal or an integer. I think it's a decimal. Let's see if that works. We have some problems. Let's see what the problems are. I do need a group by. Okay, so because I need a group by, there's a couple ways I could do this. I could group by license definition key and then do a plus equals and set the new stat to 0. And so then what's going to happen is it starts at 0. We're going to add the number of AUL licenses. We're going to add the number of SFTC licenses. We don't need ID. Okay, much better. Okay, then down here, instead of saying results.put, we're going to say new stat dot used data space. Is that how I did it? I don't remember how I did it. Let's check. Use data space and use file space. Perfect. Okay. Equals that there, and new stat dot used file space equals. This is much easier to do in VS Code. I recommend if you're writing code to use Code Builder or VS Code or something like that. And then here we're going to just return new stat. Okay, much better. Let's go ahead and do a debug here. I'm going to call org details dot that. It's going to return a org usage stat. And let's just say system.debug, see what's happening. Oh, invalid type exception. That is an interesting error. Let's take a look at it. See if we get a line or anything. Okay, so it's on my aggregate. And it's an internal Salesforce error, which means that I'm not getting much in terms of the results. What could it be? What could it be? Let's see if it's the query itself. So what I'm going to do is just comment this out, because I'm not sure if this is where the error is happening on line 14 or if the error is actually happening in the query itself. It could be because license definition key is an enum, maybe. Enum is like a special pick list that has like the values hard coded. Ooh, well that's interesting. Why did I get that this time and not yesterday? But okay, that's a good sign. Let's try casting it as an integer. I'm getting maximum redirects this time. Interesting. I wasn't getting it before. Those of you who saw the video, you know I was not getting it before. Okay, I'm going to switch to Salesforce Classic and try to recreate what I did the other day. I wonder if it works in Classic and not in Lightning. I'm going to go ahead and hard code this URL. It's definitely not something I would normally do, but I just want to see if this is going to get around the issue. Whoa, weird. Very bizarre, because it was working yesterday. This is why I make these videos, because now people get to see how no matter how hard you try, no matter how great of a job you do, sometimes things still don't work. It's just bizarre. Okay, so I'm going to copy this URL. I want to try this one more time. Okay, just make sure that's the same. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move the query. Well, I was going to say maybe I should move it to after. Query licenses, that's what I got. Well, look at that. Now I got a different error. What is going on? Okay, so let's see if we can identify what line of code is causing the problem. Clear the debug. Open execute. Execute. Still got invalid type. Okay. I might not be able to group by license definition key. That's what I'm suspecting, because it is an enum. I don't know what's going on, but let's see if we can figure it out. So maybe I can group by a different field. Master label, sure. Or name, maybe name's a better one. Okay, group by name. The other thing I can do is do a system debug right here and see what this looks like. That might help also. Okay, execute. No, now I'm getting the redirects again. What is going on? Okay, let's, so weird. This is so much easier in a real coding tool, but that's okay. I should have set it up before I started the call. I always do say it does make sense to spend a little time up front. Well, that makes no sense. Okay, so what's happening now? I actually know what's happening. I'm saving this file. You see me saving it. It's taking time for it to really be saved on the server, even though this screen says it's being saved. And so what we're seeing when I'm executing this code, I'm just going too quickly here. What we're seeing is we're probably seeing 30-second-old code being executed and not the latest version. So let's try this one more time now that I've stalled a little. Okay. Well, let's do this instead. I'm going to copy this, paste it into here, and just execute it here. Invalid type exception. Okay. Line, not a number, column, undefined. Let's get rid of some things that we don't need. Okay, let's do this, where use licenses not equal to null. And, well, okay, so there's another option. I don't have to do the aggregate query, right? I had started not doing an aggregate query. I could go back and not do it. It's not necessary. Let's just try to do that. Invalid type exception. Maybe this is an object that you can't do an aggregate query on. That could be the case. So let's do it this way instead. For user license UL in, we'll just do it this way. Not a big deal. Sometimes it's not worth fighting. Like it might be possible to do. I just don't know if it's worth it. And this will get it done a lot faster. You could argue that then I'll get more work done. So it's okay if the code's not as efficient as it could be. And this is going to be ul.useLicenses. Okay, let's go ahead and put useLicense not equal to null, and like that. Okay, so that should definitely work. Let's go ahead and execute, see what happens. I can't get the maximum redirects if this is not working. That does not make any sense. I'm hoping someone's watching this who sees this and says, oh, I know what that is. I can go fix that on the server because I work at Salesforce. But we'll see. Let's try executing this. See, that does work. Okay. I did hit a debug. Let me do it one more time. And execute. And debug. And yes, we can see the licenses used equals 3. Perfect. Okay, so that is working. What's not working is this part here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to copy this. Hit save. It has saved. And org details dot query licenses. Call this. There should not be an error. Okay, there's no error. Great. Now let's try this one more time. Save that. Okay. I could just do it like this. Cut out some lines of code here. Save it. Fully waiting for it to save. Sometimes I even will look at the code from setup and make sure that it really is the latest. This should be fine though. Okay. Org details, query licenses, execute. No error. I don't know. You guys were watching it. Like, you know, you saw everything I saw. Not sure why that happened before, but let's go ahead and do system.debug. Like that. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we have licenses used data space, and used file space. Perfect. That looks good to me. Technically, if we wanted to, we could do an insert here. We could say insert new stat, right? That would work if we want to, instead of just returning it. Depends on how we want to use this code. But this is how we construct a record. So you use the API name of the object and then a variable, and then you just use dot notation to start filling in the fields. So this instance of the new stat licenses used field should be plus equals this value here. Here we set it to 0 and so on and so forth. I think this is pretty good. Let's see if we can get this back to the way it was without the error message. I'm going to save this. I also want to try something. I'm going to jump back to Lightning over here. I wonder if the developer console somehow knows behind the scenes what's going on. I'm going to wait 30 seconds or so. No, yeah, see, now it works. I have no idea what was going on. You guys at home, if you figure out what was going on, because I don't think I fixed anything there, it just kind of fixed itself, please log it in the comments. And when you're logging in the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe also. because I would love to do this all day long to solve other people's little issues here and there in Salesforce. It's a lot less stressful than some of the work that I have to do. So I enjoy this a lot. I'm going to go ahead and post this on Trailhead. And that way, Ryan will have the answer to this. Oh, Luke will have the answer to this question. Sorry about that, Luke. And we'll see. Maybe we'll keep doing more if more is needed. So thanks again, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.